what's up? It's your boy Sean Garrett, man, aka The Pen, aka Mr. Smash on the radio. I'm just letting y'all know that I love making progress on the progress report. You understand me? And I got all A's.
The Progress Report.
All right, what's going on? It's your girl Lalaa Shepard. This is a new episode of Skipping Class presented by the Progress Report, man. I got the legend in the building, Sean Garrett, aka The Pen.
Oh, what's up?
Okay. Man,
Swat.
welcome back.
I'm glad to be back, Lala. You know you my baby, so
For sure.
I ran into you the other night,
Yes.
a couple weeks ago
The
at the
Music
coalition
Mondays.
shit, you feel me?
Yes.
And it's like sometimes in your career there's different people that you admire because they're passionate about what they do.
Super facts.
You've always been very, very sweet to me,
Absolutely.
very supportive, but
Absolutely.
this is a good time.
Absolutely. But listen, I'm thankful for that. Thank you so much. Salute to Mercedes as well doing her thing. And I looked, the last time you were here, it was October 23rd, 2020.
Damn.
That's crazy. And we didn't even have our lockers or nothing. So I can't wait for you to sign our locker and all that good stuff. But
yeah, I need
thank
my
you for
picture
coming
in here.
back.
I need my picture in here.
Oh,
So you could,
easy.
cause you know.
You see the hallway? We gonna do that.
You feel me? I mean a big one too. Now you need to put the one up there with me on the cover billboard. You know what I'm saying?
H, you heard him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I'm a big one.
All right, we're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now look, I know you got your name from Jay-Z, man, but tell us, how did that name come about? What did he say where he was like, man, we gotta call you The Pen?
Man, you know, Jay-Z is not a man of a lot of words.
Facts.
But just, I just had the opportunity to work with his wife. And we basically was just knocking out a lot of records. And every time I did a record, it got better and better, right? And we pretty much knocked the whole album out, the B-Day album out, in about 2.5 weeks.
Crazy.
So I think it was a time, I think he was totally convinced when he came in and heard Ring the Alarm. I kind of thought he was going to be a little upset about it, to be very honest.
Why?
Because it was such a record that,
Spicy.
you know what I'm saying?
True.
Of course, when there's $1 billion on the elevator, that was the first sign of when there's $1 billion on the elevator, some shit can go down. You feel?
That's too hard though. So much history.
Mhm.
And then what I love what you said Monday, I had to write this down, man. You said, I'm one of the greatest songwriters alive.
I am the greatest songwriter alive.
That part.
For Campbellton Road,
That part.
to be exact.
Okay,
Grady
period.
Baby, to be exact.
Period. I love it.
Swats, to be fucking exact.
I love it. Now, do you feel like a lot of people assume that you're not from Atlanta, or does that ever come up?
Can't be.
Okay.
Because I'm going to talk about two things every interview. My mama and the Swats.
Salute to both.
Mhm.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Okay, so the SWATs, man, coming up here in Atlanta and just seeing all these changes now. What's your thoughts, and how was it for you just, coming up here?
I think my biggest, the biggest thing is at a young age, I had, man, it was a lot of great times because, like when you from like the hood,
Mm-hmm.
you sort of assume you don't really know you don't really know you in the hood.
Very true. Very true.
I never thought I was in the hood. I
Yeah.
just thought I was in Atlanta. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? And I had an interesting conversation with someone last night that was from New York, and they was like, he was like, man, he was a security guy. He was like, man, I've been out here since '95. I was like, how you like it? He was like, man, I like Atlanta. Some things he like about it, some things he don't. He says, but I'm so glad that I came here because I never saw life like this as a black man. You understand what I'm
That
saying?
part.
And I told him, I said, bro, as long as I've been living, we've always had a black mayor. I said, this is our city. You know what I'm saying? This is not, we're not in a position where we are feeling less than.
Right.
We never even had the approach or the idea that we were like answering to no one. So musically, music adds another value to it when you have the creativeness, you know what I'm saying? The creative ability to say what you feel, express yourself, wear what you want, you know what I'm saying? Empower yourself, empower your woman.
Amen.
This is just not a great music city. This is a great business city. You
Definitely.
understand? You got beautiful young women out here running their businesses, from hair products. They're taking it to a whole nother level. It's like hair products, makeup, clothes. eyebrows,
Everything.
eyelashes. You know what I'm saying? And it's just getting more and more beautiful. The women are just becoming more and more of a vibe.
Yes.
They done got that shit together.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
that part.
You feel me?
That part. Well, that's gonna bring me into the new single, okay, Baddie with Jacquees. So, how did that record come about?
So my album has just been finished.
Okay,
I've been working on it.
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I've been working on it for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many other records that I have also, but it was just like I just enjoy the opportunity to be expressive as an artist as well. People they can't even understand what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yeah, I love creating for other people, but I also love creating my own songs, creating my own style. You know what I mean? I've always been a fashionista.
For sure.
But I'm my own type of fashionista, and I feel like I can do whatever I want to do fashionly wise.
Damn right.
And so just making this album, the point of it is basically my personal relationship with women, love from a male's perspective, the heartbreak of it, the empathetic piece to it. I think sometimes people don't realize just how men really feel, because
So true.
a lot of times it's like you can beg, but how much begging can you do? And sometimes you got to get real and just really put that dialogue in the air to let a person know how vulnerable you can be. So I think the vulnerability is very important.
Amen.
A woman needs a vulnerable man. A nigga can't just be strong to the point where when you get to the point where you just so damn strong and you ain't got no vulnerability,
Right.
you ain't got no heart, you ain't got no pain in you. And a lot of us got, I love my man. I love to talk. I was on Big Facts.
Okay.
If you don't mind me mentioning other people,
course,
because
hell
I'm a
yeah,
person
of
that
course,
loves
man.
us all.
Yeah.
But my man Big Bank is so damn dope because he's an advocate of talking about some real shit, right?
Yeah.
And really having an understanding of just like what we really go through.
Absolutely.
Because I think we've, as men, black love is the greatest love you can ever have, because there's so many dynamics to it. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many reasons why you can love a person. There's so many other extra elements to love besides looks, besides money, besides sex. A baddie ain't just a damn. A baddie ain't just a girl that strips in the club.
For sure.
A baddie ain't just a beautiful girl that works at the bank. A baddie's not just a fashionista or a model or, I love intellect. I love a woman that has a mindset that can sit down and have a conversation with me. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
That's sexy to me. I like
Amen.
that. So I know women have been a little quiet about how much they love an R&B nigga. Y'all love them R&B niggas.
Nah, that's facts.
Believe me.
Now, working with the king of R&B, at what point did you say that he earned that title?
Jacquees, I've been knowing him since he was 16 years old.
I know y'all been working together for a while.
And I just love him as a person. He has one of the most unique voices. When as time go past, people gonna look back and say Jacquees has one of the most dynamic, recognizable voices in this generation.
I feel that.
And I love his, what I love most about him is his confidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't tell Quee he ain't Quee.
That's true.
You can't tell Quee he ain't the king of motherfucking
Nah,
R&B.
that's facts. That's real talk now. Now with the sample on that Baddie, what is that? Because I heard it's like Texas. Like what song is that?
Yeah, tipping on fofo.
Got you. Because that's really what caught me. I heard that. I'm like, because I'm like, when I first hear a song, I hear the beat first. That's me personally.
Okay.
So I'm like, damn, what is that? So that part kept catching me. Then I heard the vocals after that. You know what I'm saying?
Did it catch you by surprise?
It did.
Yeah.
In a good way, because I wouldn't expect it for an R&B record.
Yeah. Ooh.
So yeah, I like what you did.
Okay.
I like what you did.
Ooh, I
Now,
like that.
now speaking of that though, we got this conversation going on right now with Plies, suing, Soulja Boy, Meg, and just different people for sampling me and my goons. With you being an artist and a producer, how do you feel about that?
To each his own. I really don't get into other people's business, their debates, their arguments. I don't get into politics much. because I feel like everyone has their own perspective of how they feel, right? And so, to each his own. I guess that's why I've been in the business so long, because I stay the fuck
Mind
out
your
my way.
business.
I mind my motherfucking business. I mind my money.
True.
And I mind my business.
I respect that.
And I love people. I love everybody for who they are, right?
Period.
And having that open mind there's a gift in having an open mind, right?
Absolutely.
And just, appreciating a person. You can be, I try to say this to females that I've been in relationships with, everybody has a perspective. And so
True.
Who am I to judge why a person says or feel or hurts? The key is to accept that and see what I can do to add value to it. If I can't add value to it, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and get on out the way.
That part. Okay, now, recently, Meg and FloMilli, they sampled Ciara's Goodies, the Rock Steady. I think they did a cute little spin.
Still smashing on the motherfucking radio.
Period. Now, we all know that you co-wrote Goodies. Oh, let's be clear.
Ain't no co-writing with the boy. But,
Period.
I don't co-write.
Okay.
Well, yes, I do co-write.
Okay.
But I'll say it like this. I think sometimes people like to do derivative works. That is I'll coin that, guys.
Okay.
Google that. Google what derivative works are.
Derivative. Okay.
Because they don't call me to co-write. They call me to write a hit.
Period.
So I come in and I do my job. I let people say whatever they want to say.
Okay, I look
You
it up.
understand me?
Uh-huh.
I let people, you see what derivative?
Yes, it means a derivative work is a new work that's based on one or more existing works.
Enough said.
Okay. Period. So what's your thoughts on the Rock Steady song? What did you think when you heard it?
Fire.
Hard.
You know what? Again, I don't get into people's, shout out to Tory Lanez.
Okay.
I fucking love that nigga.
Okay.
That nigga's from space. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the most incredible artists of this generation,
Nah,
for
definitely
sure.
a beast.
I mean, he got so many different styles. That nigga can sing, he can write, he can rap, he can produce.
True.
I wanted to sign him. I was trying to sign him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I love Tory. Shout out to Tory. Tory, come home soon, nigga. But Megan is a fucking superstar.
Hell yeah.
Hands down.
Hands
She
down,
is,
man.
I like to say, I like to tell a woman, I like to tell niggas, man, that woman is heavy. You know what I'm saying? Because she just has a presence.
That's exactly, it's her aura, everything.
Yeah. She's a baddie. See, I get in trouble.
Yeah.
I like a big ass. I like a big, tall,
Big stallion.
I love
Ow.
a tall glass of water.
Period.
You understand me?
I'm here for that.
So yeah, I love it. I really love it. I love the dynamic of it.
Absolutely.
I just love it, man. She dope. She dope as fuck.
Agreed.
They went crazy on that shit.
I agree. I think it was dope. I was like, okay, this is cute. I like what they did with it.
Mhm.
So salute to you, man. Well, while we speaking of the ladies,
And shout out to Ciara.
salute to Ciara.
I love you, CC.
Ciara is looking like, she looks so amazing. It's like her and some women just age so gracefully. They look so much greater now than they ever have before. So salute to them and whatever they doing. I love it.
Me too.
Hell yeah. So while we speaking on ladies, I want to get your thought on Beyonce taking the country route.
Shit, that's Beyonce.
It is.
That's what she do. Beyonce do Beyonce.
Big facts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did you think about just her doing a country lane and just people not acknowledge her for the awards and stuff like that?
They'll get it. They'll get it. Reasonable Doubt, they didn't get it the first
True.
time.
You're right.
But they got it later.
It's facts.
They didn't get Sean Garrett the first time, but they finally got me.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
That part. Okay, period. And then, I know you work with Summer Walker, of course, and I bring her up because, her debut album was like the highest streamed album after, Beyonce's Lemonade. So, I mean, talk about being a part of these amazing women's processes. Like, this is crazy.
That's another one of my, that little Summer drives me crazy. She drives me crazy in a great way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
She's so poised in her own way. I love talking to her. You know, we did Still Over It. Pretty much the whole album, we recorded at least, I don't know, like 12, 13 of the songs at my house while she was pregnant. I mean, at the time of that process, learning how to record with a woman with a baby in her stomach is crazy. So we had such a unique sort of way we would do it. She would have her good days, she would have her bad days. I just played my position. And shout out to all the producers that was on that Still Over It album. Shout out to LBRN. It was an amazing process. It was something that I learned. I learned a valuable lesson. Just understanding different artists. You know, it taught me that even though you have done so much, there's still so much to learn.
So true.
Yeah, and so the one thing that, you know, I like people to know is that you can never know enough. You can never learn enough, no matter how many opportunities you've had, no matter how many times, how many games, how many rings you've won. You know, you're gonna keep learning. If you're open to learning, you're gonna get better. And that's all I really am trying to do. Just get better, trying to love better, trying to earn more respect from people by being a solid ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? I like to stand on being solid. I like to stand on my values. I like to stand on integrity. Money ain't everything.
Facts.
Money ain't everything.
Super facts. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, man. I feel like a conversation I want our people to talk about more openly is finances and money, because I feel like we need to. So with you being a person that's been getting money for a long time, not counting your pockets, but just looking at the track record.
Okay.
Can you give us some advice just for, you know, properly managing finances? Say, for instance, somebody just happened to get a record, and now they got a buku amount of money, but this is their first time, you know, getting that type of money. What's some tips you would give that person?
Well, number one, read. You know, you got to read. Financial literacy for our community. A lot of us in this generation are first-time millionaires.
Absolutely.
So, you know, first of all, learning this business is one thing in itself. Learning the financial side is a whole other thing. And I think sometimes people fail to realize how important it is to understand that you got to put up some money, you got to make some money, you got to spend some money. You know, as they always say, scared money don't make no money.
Thanks.
So you got to be willing to invest in yourself, and just keep you a little stash. So, you know, for whatever business venture you may have, you know, chose to dive into, sometimes you're gonna have to invest in yourself to show people what it really is.
That part.
Because sometimes timing is everything, and sometimes you got to have 40, 50, 100, 300, 400 bands on the side to be able to invest in yourself to keep your ball moving. You know what I'm saying? So motion is always necessary. Shout out to my boy, and happy birthday to the GOAT, Future.
Oh yes. Super Hendrix.
Pluto.
You know,
Pluto just
Plutoski.
going. Pluto.
The Wizard.
The Wiz.
Hell yeah.
You know, people like him are really showing people what dedication is all about.
Amen.
Not only is he a great in our community in reference to just being someone that we can look at and say, damn, that man, he really did come from the bottom and showed us how to keep it going. So, you know, that's what I love about our community. Is like, there's so many of us that inspire each other.
True.
You know what I'm saying? You know, he's doing R&B music. He started out doing rap music. He switched that motherfucker. He swinged that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
And that shit gets me excited. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Lil Jon, like, all of the history of Atlanta, all of the history of New York, all of the history of LA, all of the history around the world. That shit is inspiring. And being able to grow up and be from Atlanta and then grow up and move to Europe and you know, Japan, and just, I mean, I love it.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
I love that for you too, man.
It's
and
been
while
crazy.
we speaking of Atlanta, you know, talking about Lil Jon, man, I want to talk about Usher and Luda. Why didn't we ever get that album?
the album in reference to?
It was supposed to be Usher, Lil Jon, and Ludacris, or at least that's what the rumors were, that it was supposed to be like an official album.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I mean, I don't know. I think there's so many different. It's hard when you're dealing with superstars,
True.
right? And everybody has schedules. Everyone has
Facts.
different things that's going on all at the same time. I think Usher was in a certain space. I feel like Ludacris has been in this movie space.
Yeah.
This nigga doing State Farm commercials.
Yeah. Salute to Luda.
Shout out to Lil Jon. He doing humongous, shows. So it's hard to kind of balance it all.
Okay.
Especially when you got people of that magnitude.
Got
right?
you.
So, I mean, I don't know why the album didn't come out, but I'm sure at some point when it's the right time, it's gonna be what it's supposed to be.
Amen.
And shout out to them.
For sure. Talking about the crunk era, for me, that was one of my favorite eras. Now, just during that time, beautiful times. Do you feel like the crunk era got the respect that it deserves for impacting the hip hop culture?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's number 11 song on the greatest hits of all time. First of all, that was something that no one even saw coming.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So there's so many dynamics to it.
Yeah.
Right. So crunk music, definitely got the respect, because every time you hear that song, that's just not crunk music. That's crunk music. That's R&B music. That's pop music. That's cultural music. That's global music.
Hell yeah.
People send me, all around the world, from Dubai to Germany, England, Japan. They send me videos of people just having an amazing time partying to that song. And it changed all of our lives. You know what I'm saying? It was all of our number one. It's my biggest number one record. It's
Crazy.
Usher's biggest number one record. Lil Jon's biggest number one record. L.A. Reid's biggest number one record. Shout out to L.A. Reid.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone that had Delicia. Delicia at the time was Lil Jon's assistant.
Got you.
And if it wouldn't have been for her, I would have never got any of those tracks. And so that's why I have so much respect for people who are interning.
Absolutely.
People that are assistants.
Yep.
People that do camera work.
Absolutely.
You gotta have publicists. Shout out to my baby over there, Mercedes.
For sure.
When I talk to them as the president or the CEO of their company.
For sure.
So the respect for what they do is very important to me, because people don't realize how important the people that help you get there.
Man.
That shit is very, very important. And the same people you see coming up will be the same people you see going down.
That part. And I'm glad you said that, man. It's very refreshing to come across people that think like that, because I agree. I think, treat the janitor the same way you would a CEO. You just never know who is going to be anything, or just not even for that reason, just to be a good human being. So I'm happy to hear you say that.
Yeah, that's some real shit.
For
and I mean,
real.
I think what's happening now, though, we're starting to really realize just how important it is to love all of us. We've
Amen.
lost so many people. We lost a lot of
So many
amazing people this year.
Yeah.
I just lost my brother, Chubbie Baby.
I know. Yeah, man. Salute to Chubbie. Heck,
And Chubbie's done so much for so many people.
for sure.
I just can't stop posting pictures about him. He really loved our culture. He loved our music.
For sure.
He loved the artist. He's helped so many different artists. I mean, he put some real artists in the game, officially on a corporate level. 21 Savage, did so much to help stand on shit for Future.
Yes.
And the one thing I loved about him is he was a lion. You know what I'm saying? He was never scared to stand on business for
sure.
anything that he was involved in. And, sometimes, you got to risk it all for what you believe in. And so I really appreciated him. And he was so inspiring. I find inspiration in people so much as an important piece to me, and staying. If it wasn't for those people, I wouldn't be me.
That's real.
And so I'd be lying if I say I wasn't inspired by every artist or every executive that I've had an opportunity to work with. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, I be on my, I'm going to pop my shit.
Oh, you got
know
to.
that. But when I'm popping my shit, I'm not necessarily popping my shit. I'm popping shit because my road could have been totally different.
Amen.
If I didn't have the open mind that I did, if I didn't have the patience, if I didn't consider other people's feelings, emotional, business, acumen, just so many different things that you got to think about when you're dealing with people.
Amen.
Everybody ain't having the best day all the time, right? So my perspective is always trying to make the best of it. We all got egos. We all got money. You know what I'm saying? We all been blessed enough to have opportunities and to have other businesses and shit. But at the end of the day, we all human beings, and we ain't leaving here with none of this shit that we bragging about, talking
Facts.
about, excited about. So I just try to keep that part in my mind. Shout out to this new generation of music
Amen.
makers and
Hell
creatives and artists and creatives. It's just, the shit is incredible, and creatives comes in so many different forms. So shout out to the DJs.
Right. Salute the DJs.
The DJs. Oh my God! If it wasn't for the DJs, we would never even get a chance to enjoy ourselves in these clubs and on the radio. And so I just love everything that's going on.
Absolutely. Okay. Big respect.
Yeah.
Now, one last question regarding Usher. I mean, so how dope was it seeing him perform at the Super Bowl? And just seeing that moment. And what's your thoughts for this upcoming Super Bowl we got next year?
Oh man, them Super Bowls are starting to turn into some real extravaganzas.
Yeah.
Seeing Usher, I think out of all the time that I have, because when I was a young lad, and I did, in my 20s, I had my own sense of like need for respect. That was the time. That was my checkmate. Seeing Usher perform the biggest song in the world on the biggest stage in the world said everything that I needed to say. And I've gained so much respect for so many different people, including Usher. He's one of the greatest entertainers we've ever seen in our life.
Definitely.
And just, he takes it so seriously, right? He did a fantastic job. He fucking just smashed that shit. He made us all proud.
Absolutely.
And that shit was rewarding. It was rewarding on so many levels because it helped so many families. You know what I'm saying? My family is eating off of that.
That's real.
Usher's family is eating off of that. Luda's family. Shout out to Usher's mom, who I love dearly. She gave me a real hard time initially about that record, but
why?
Well, she loves her baby. You know what I'm saying? Usher's her heart. Usher's her soul. I find a certain dynamic with her because my mom had 2 boys too.
Yeah.
And her 2 boys are her babies, and she was just like, boy, you gonna fuck up my baby's career. and I know she meant that from a good place, because I had a real ass mom. My mom from Perry Homes. My mom she always stood on business. And I can hear my mom saying the same shit. So it wasn't something that I was like, it wasn't something that I was afraid of, or it made me feel some kind of way. It just really made me have more respect for her, because she let me know, nigga, I ain't playing no motherfucking games about my baby. This shit better work.
Yeah.
And it did, and then there was another controversial moment when I did Papers.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Usher,
Papers.
She was like, what the hell are you doing? But my job is to be controversial.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm the script writer, right? And so I write the scripts.
Yep.
And she's, and what the part that I feel like is always important to keep in mind is our community, right? And I remember he had this song I called Moving Mountains, and at the time it wasn't really doing that well. And in my mind, I was so damn, sometimes I had to watch what I say because I just say what's on my heart. And I was just like, why the fuck he got a song out called Moving Mountains and we all looking at his life, right? It's like, nigga, you ain't moving no mountains right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right
we need not right now.
Yeah.
You done move some mountains, but this ain't the motherfucking time.
For sure.
So I just felt like it was necessary to get into it, because what people fail to realize, and a lot of artists fail to realize, we're the artists are the representative of the people. You the representative of the people, so you can't fool the people.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's like cut that shit out. Like all that superficial, idealistic perspective.
Facts.
Like, nigga, some niggas shooting outside. Nigga, this is not the time.
Yeah.
To be like, you know what I'm saying? This shit is real.
For
Life
sure.
is real, and you know, relationships are real. So sometimes you gotta explain to people. Sometimes you gotta explain to people like what, so they can relate to what the fuck you're talking about, right?
Exactly.
You know, and it's difficult sometimes when people ask you to do something and then they want to tell you what not to do. Motherfucker, you told me to come and close.
Yeah.
The door wide fucking open. Is the motherfucker gonna be closed or is it gonna be open?
That
You
part.
you make that decision.
Yeah.
But don't call me till you got that motherfucking decision together. You understand?
That
Because I'm gonna
part.
come and motherfucking close that bitch. You told me to close that motherfucker, it's gonna get locked the fuck up. You complaining about the deadbolt locks. Why we got so many locks? Nigga, you said lock this bitch up, didn't you? I'm gonna close it.
That part. Okay. Enough said. Now, while we talking about, the greatest performers, we gotta talk about Michael Jackson. Now that picture with you and MJ, where was that at?
I was working with him.
Okay.
I actually work with shout out Michael. That's my biggest idol of all time.
Hell yeah.
As you can see, my idea for was creating a Michael Jackson song over a crunk beat. I knew that shit was gonna go fucking crazy. And I just thought that it was just wild that people didn't understand that. And so sometimes I had this difficult understanding of just like, me and Michael would talk about so many interesting things, right? We had philosophical conversations. We talked about life. We talked about nuances in music. You know what I'm saying? We talked about tempo. We talked about the elevation of like sound. You know, he was just such an intellectual, and I'm an intellectual. And I think sometimes people want you to be so dumbed down sometimes that it's like, I'm like, nigga, I've had that basic ass conversation with you for a long time. At what point do you think, I'm intelligent enough
Right.
to have more of a dynamic conversation, right? And it's the same thing in relationships.
True.
So having the opportunity to work with Mike was more than influential. It was more than just like being starstruck and knowing that I'm sitting here listening and having dialogue with one of the greatest persons. Like he's musically, Michael he's the best example of what music really is. Good, bad, indifferent, being humble, being vulnerable. Michael was the best at being vulnerable. That motherfucking She's Out of My Life, crying on the motherfucking record. I ain't never heard a nigga cry on a record ever since then.
Right.
But that's why he's Michael. And so, God bless his soul. God bless Quincy Jones' soul. I got a chance to meet Quincy.
Wow.
And it's so funny when you meet these greats, how much respect they have for you. Michael used to call me every morning, 7:30. Hey, Sean. Oh, my God. What's up, Mike? It got to the point where it was just like, shit. They go, Michael. Mike, what's up? I was just thinking, what do you think about this idea? He would just say shit to me, and I'd just be like, Mike, tripping. But then when I got off the phone, I'd be like, I'm tripping, right? Because he's sharing thoughts. He's sharing, like he wasn't even in a space of like quitting. He was never like feeling like sometimes people say shit like, they been in the game 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, right? And they get to talking this shit like, or some people might ask me, Sean, you done did everything. Why the fuck you still doing this? I'm like, motherfucker, are you you?
Right.
Fuck you mean?
This
Nigga,
is what I'm here to do.
Nigga, this is what I do. This is my life. You know what I'm saying? Even my relationships and shit. It's like, girls be saying shit to me like, well, what about me? I be like, I love you. But I love my motherfucking music.
Let's be clear.
I
First love.
It's
Fake.
God,
Yeah.
my kids,
Yeah.
my motherfucking music,
That part.
then you.
Yeah.
And that's not disrespect to anybody.
Absolutely
But if
not.
you can't understand that and you can't relate to that, and you got with me after that, this shit ain't gonna, as they say, that curl might not curl all the way over.
I think what it is too, I think a lot of people unfortunately do not have something that they're passionate about. So when they do come across people that are and they walk and talk what they do, it's tough for people to understand. So
And then to take it away from you.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, my motherfucker sleeping with the devil. Carl, you might not be able to sleep in that motherfucker big ass bed with the boy.
That part.
Carl, I might not come home tonight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you can't be telling me what kind of sheets that need to be on that motherfucker. You feel?
That part.
Baby,
Sean.
these are velvet walls in this motherfucker. You feel?
That part. That part. Now let me ask you, with you working with Chris Brown, you know, for so long, do you feel like he's the second coming of Michael Jackson?
Hands down.
Okay.
Hands down. Chris Brown is the greatest motherfucking shit. That boy CB is the natural born truth.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love most about him is he real.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, he got his flaws.
As we all
He got his pain. He's struggling with the same shit I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
Just understand it. You know what I'm saying? We want to put on this motherfucker with everything. You know, and people are so judgmental, and we all gonna make mistakes. We all have made mistakes. Some of these motherfuckers mistakes, some of these people that made, we just ain't found out about them
that
motherfuckers.
part. That part.
So yeah, shout out to CB. I love what he's doing.
Hell yeah.
His shows are amazing, and to hear him still performing songs like
Ain't no way,
I'm gonna let you down.
That song used to make me cry in a good way.
Why, baby?
When
Why?
he first performed this song, because, you know, you don't know, but I grew up listening to Chris, the Word Up magazines all over the damn apartment, you know.
You had all these shit on your walls?
Absolutely. Chris Brown everywhere now. So I think, you know how certain records just bring that emotion? I was crying like a damn baby at that
That song
concert.
really made you feel like that?
Yes. And speaking of that song, can we ever expect a video for it? That and Poppin', I know those are the two that everybody want from Chris.
Good shit, Carl.
Y'all ain't
I'm
never
gonna tell
had
you
no
know what? The next
conversation
time I
about
talk to
it?
Chris, I'm gonna tell Chris.
Tell him.
Chris, you need to do that. I'm actually working on some stuff for him now.
Okay.
But that song was really from my heart, and it was really him. That was really me and Chris connecting here.
Hell yeah.
Right. And so what happened was, shout out to my dog, Scott Storch.
Oh yeah.
I went down to Hit Factory to initially work with Chris and Scott Storch. We did Run It, and we did Give Me That. And so when I got back home, and that was such a great experience. I got a chance to know the wild side of Scott Storch.
Okay. I heard he liked to party.
Oh my God, he loved to party.
Yeah.
And at the time, you know, he and I were super producers in our mind and in our work, and we kind of bumped heads a little bit, and it was just like, you know, he was like, nigga, we should go left, and I was like, nigga, no, we going right. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, that's Chris, nigga, that is not 50.
Yeah.
Okay?
That part.
So, and I like to talk about these things because I think a lot of times people think everything went perfect.
Right.
It
that
didn't go
part.
perfect. Like, we fought. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go get a room. They had to go get me another room upstairs at Hit Factory because I fucking left the studio. I was like, man, fuck this shit. Scott was like, I'm Scott Storch. I said, nigga, I'm motherfucking Sean Garrett. Nigga, you better check my motherfucking manuscript. Nah, it was crazy. It was, but you know, he from Philly. You know what I'm saying? My dad's from Philly.
Got
so,
you.
but you know, the great thing about a process
Hell
is
yeah.
the results.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So the result of that was so amazing, right?
Man.
And I thank Scott for being patient enough with me.
Yep.
Because at some point he was just like, well, fuck it then. You do what you think. and you know, I respected that.
Yes.
And again, that's another example of like you got to sometimes step back a minute, right? And you got to respect everybody in the room.
Absolutely.
You know, as they like to say, you got to read the fucking room sometimes, right?
That part.
So anyway, we knocked those 2 songs out. The album was already done, and so those last 3 records, Run It, Give Me That, and Aint No Way. So when I came back to Atlanta, we had already knocked out 2. Shout out to my big brother, Mark Pitts. Mark was on the phone with me and called me and said, I need one more. And so there was this
Crazy.
There was this great friend of mine that I was working with in Carolina. He used to play for the Green Bay Packers. He was I think Big Walt. Shout out my brother Big Walt. If you out here working with Big Walt, he's amazing. At the time, I called Big Walt up, and Big Walt was, because we were working together before I even came back to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I went to go see my son. My son was a little baby. My firstborn was a little baby. Shout out to my baby Chris, young Christopher. He's a superstar himself.
Okay.
He does music. He does like R&B. He does alternative R&B.
Okay.
Little handsome motherfucker looking like his pop.
Sure,
You know what I'm saying?
sure.
That long, pretty motherfucker hair. You know what I'm saying? But I came back to Atlanta. Mark Pitts called me and was like, I need one more for him. And Aint No Way was just a song that was just from my heart. And I just loved Chris. I just loved him. He was such an exciteful being, right?
Yeah.
That just loved music. That nigga loved to dance. And so then I came back after that album, and then we did Wall to Wall. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't
And
stopped.
at the time, he was just so into his mic bag.
Yeah.
I just was like, man, this kid is just so special. So we had a fucking amazing time. Ain't No Way. Then I just wanna love you. I don't wanna know your name.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So all of those gems just was so, classics. And I just enjoyed it. And I just enjoy it. I
love
enjoy
it.
all this shit,
I love it.
Got a chance to work with Mary J. Blige,
Hell
do enough.
Queen.
I've done enough crying.
Queen.
Went over there in the pop side and got crazy on the motherfuckers and got in that motherfucker with my boy Polo Da Don. Shout out Polo Da Don.
Yeah, salute to Polo,
Another
man.
Atlanta nigga. You
Yep.
heard me?
Hell yeah.
And we went crazy, man, on at the time Polo was doing, I ain't gonna, you know what, I could talk for days. But Polo was doing these big ass, these tracks with these really huge drums. And people wasn't really fucking with his beats like that. But I was just like, damn, who doing the motherfucking drums like that? Because I don't write songs based on chords. I write songs based on drums.
Got you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So all my songs are drum heavy. You know what I'm saying? So when it's like a lot of people be getting caught up in a vibe, you know what I'm saying, on some just smooth shit, which is dope as fuck.
Right.
But me, I like to, I love hip hop music. I love drums. So I like the craziest fucking drums. Shout out to my man Swiss Beats.
Hell yeah.
I just love drums. And so
Feel that.
I just got off the phone with my man Timbaland. Shout out Timbaland.
Hey.
Me and Timbo finna do some crazy shit too.
Hell yeah.
But I just love big drums, and so, just having the opportunity to work with people that were really different. You know what I'm saying? In their own bag. And so we did some amazing things like Fergie's London Bridge. That fucked the world up. That song was like #1 for 9 weeks. Shout out Fergie. Shout out Jimmy Iovine.
I'm gonna give you my favorite two right now.
Well, tell me.
The Kelis Bossy, to this day, still hit.
Bangladesh. That's my motherfucking nigga right there, for real. Bangladesh is one of my favorite producers to work
Y'all
with.
got a lot of dope shit together though.
Man, we went fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Break Up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Beyonce's Diva. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So don't ever get it fucked up, y'all. Don't ever get it confused.
Get it fucked up. Okay, so while we speaking of Break Up, man, have you met the new Gucci yet? Have you seen him since he's been like small?
I ain't talked to him in a minute.
Okay.
I love what Gucci did with his life.
Yeah, no, me too. Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm very proud of him. He showed the world that he was way, way, way more of a man than what people
Absolutely.
gave him the respect for being. You know, shout out to his family and his wife, and it's just beautiful to see, man. You know,
Absolutely.
my man is just—he's a businessman. You know, he came from a very humble beginning, um, and I never forget, man, pulling up to the trap. I thought I was gonna get shot over there. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. That particular time, I had a strap on me. I ain't had nobody with me.
Type shit.
And I went in there, you know, and I didn't know how that shit was gonna go, but I was just like, I'm going to see Guwap.
Yeah.
Fuck what niggas was talking about. Pulled up on him, but he was cool as a motherfucker. He was like, so I walked in. It was over in the trap too, boy, for real. So I pulled up. I forgot who it was. They gave me the green light to go see him. But when I walked in, he was like, we shook hands. He said, he looked at the engineer and said, hey, big dog, that's Sean Garrett. Put on whatever the fuck he got, I'm going in.
I know that's right. That's hard.
Guwap went right in the motherfucker. I said, Guwap. So I played him the song. He was already in the booth. Played him the song. I said, hey, wow, I just need like 16. I was like, shit, I wasn't just going to ask him for 8.
Yeah.
So, you know, Breakup was actually my first single off of my mixtape called The Inkwell.
Got you.
So The Inkwell was really like, at the time, you know, we were putting our records out on live mixtapes. And I'm calling the shit a mixtape. It was a whole full fucking album. You know what I'm saying? I'm shooting fucking $200,000, $300,000 videos and shit. Me and Nicki Minaj doing fucking Get It All.
Crazy.
Shit, I had a crazy ass joint with me and Drake. Initially, it was Drake, my Feel Love record.
Got you.
For the first time I'm in love.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was actually shout out to Drake. Shout out to my boy EI who put that shit together.
Okay.
So I told him, I said, man, I want to put Drake on this song with me, man. He was like, man, shit, we're gonna make it happen. Drake got on it first, and then I got a chance to meet J. Cole.
Salute to Cole.
You know, we were all moving around in the same circle.
Yeah.
And Cole, man, just came in that motherfucker and laced it too. So we shot a video. It was great. So that Inkwell album was so crazy. So Breakup was actually my first single. And so I ran into Mario's manager at the time, Jay Irvin. And see, I'm giving you a great interview.
You are.
Because I was a little late. You know what I'm saying? So you getting
sure.
a lot.
Hell yeah.
They ain't got all this shit. So went in with Guwap. He ended up giving me like 24 bars.
Crazy.
He gave me so many bars, I had to chop that shit up. So that's the reason why you hear, you know, 16
sense.
on the front
That
and then
makes
another
sense.
16. You know what I'm saying? So
That makes sense.
it was such a great, it was great, man. So shout out to Gucci, man. And
Hell
Gucci was
yeah.
just fucking with me, and I was fucking with him. And you know, I did that record called She Geek. So
Damn.
I had the first 458 Ferrari in America, and he had the second one. He had a yellow one, I had a white one,
Wow.
and we was just having fun with shit. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
So I ran into Jay Irvin, and Jay Irvin was like, you know, I was just, you know, we were just kicking and shit. I was just playing my album and shit. So he called me a couple days later. He was like, Sean, I know you're gonna hate this, what I'm about to say, but can I get that record for Mario? I was like, nigga, didn't I just tell you that was my first single? What you mean? Hell no. Fuck. Got me fucked. Nah. I'm doing a lot of cursing, I know, but
Oh, that's fine.
but anyway, I told him, I said, I don't know, man. I said, nah, I don't know about that. So anyway, I thought about it. And again, the kind of person I am, I said, you know, damn, this would probably make more sense if 3 heads are better than 1.
True.
So
Facts.
at the time, Mario needed a smash. So I
Yeah.
said, you know what? I'll put a deal together so we can all share the record. And it ended up being my first #1 song as an artist. It ended up being Guwap's first #1 record as an artist. And it ended up being a motherfucking blockbuster song
Boy, what?
with my man Mario. So we fucked the summer up. And Breakup is now a classic record forever.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, man. Now I know you don't talk about other people's business, but you did mention Drake. So I want to know your opinion. Like, how does this lawsuit that he recently did? How do you think that's going to affect the music business?
I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting.
It is.
You know, one man convinced another man to pop out and show niggas.
Literally. Are you excited to see Kendrick perform for the Super Bowl? I think it's gonna be tight. Yeah.
K. Dot.
Hell yeah.
That motherfucker, the truth.
For sure.
Natural born truth. Shout out to LA.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate LA always showing me love when I come out there. But he's one of the greatest creatives. I mean, I always loved his videos. I always loved his approach on records. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with anybody that's for real about whatever fuck they do. You know what I'm saying? And he's one of them people that don't fuck around with his music.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fight. This shit was crazy. It was. And sometimes you got to slap a motherfucker. You got to slap a nigga. I be trying to tell these artists like, nigga, this ain't about you, nigga. It's about us. And you know how we are. You know what I'm saying? We all gonna pack that gym out to see that motherfucking game.
Thanks.
And you gonna have to put up 50 sometimes.
True.
To let a motherfucker know that you about what you say.
That's facts.
And so that was a wake up call for everybody.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I think that shit got everybody on their motherfucking grid. Yeah, literally.
I agree.
So literally, as they say, it's back to business.
It is. Okay, now I gotta bring up another one of my favorite songs, man, that you made. The Jamie Foxx DJ Play This Girl Another Love
DJ,
song.
won't you play this girl?
Oh my God. Fire record. I just wanted to say that. No particular reason for bringing it up, but that's a fire song.
Jamie Foxx.
Hell yeah. Talented dude, man.
The Foxx.
Hell yeah. Okay, so with you being both recognized as an artist, producer, and wearing so many different hats, a lot of times people that dibble in both of those lanes have a hard time being respected. Now, for you, what's your experience like that? Just being respected, recognized as one thing, and still being respected as another in this business.
They already told me they respect me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. I don't really be getting caught. Sometimes I have my days and shit where I'm thinking like, y'all motherfucker acting like y'all don't understand what it is, I think I'm day to day on that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I definitely know that they know.
Yeah.
And we know.
That part. But
it's, again, that shit goes with a grain of salt too. You got to do it again and again and again. And that shit goes for me. It goes for LeBron. It goes, true. You know what I'm saying? It goes for everyone. So there's no, I'm not, shit. I'm not immune to it, right? And I actually get the fuck off. I actually get off on doubt. You know what I'm saying? I get off on somebody doubting me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, that journey of your work is, you need that, right? You need people to second guess you. You need people to doubt you.
That's true.
I commend it, and it's just that it puts that fire in your back, and it lets you know that too much is given, much is required.
100% facts. I love that. Now, looking back at your career, is there anything that you would have did differently? Period.
Because this was God's will.
Facts.
So, who am I to question God? Who am I to question fate? I'm just so blessed and thankful just to have had the opportunities I've had.
Amen.
To work with some of the greatest entertainers of all time, and to be able to deliver. That's the biggest thing.
That part. That's true.
I just feel one of my favorite words is gratitude.
Amen. Yeah.
And so when people ask me, Sean, what would you like to leave this earth? When you leave this earth, what would you like to be remembered for? And the most important thing for me is just gratitude. Thanking people for giving me an opportunity, giving me a shot. Thanking God for keeping me healthy. Thanking God for keeping my mind in a very stable place. Thanking my parents for instilling integrity in me.
Amen.
Moral moral compass. A lot of those different things are so important to just being a human being. So I always put being a human being in front of everything. So, you know, I don't like to do bad business. I don't like to cheat. I don't like to get over on motherfuckers. I don't like to look over my shoulder or have to look over my shoulder. I like to, you're going to have haters, but I like to be able to look a person in the eye and them know that, you know, I'm a stand-up guy.
Amen. Respect, man. Okay, so one of my final questions this episode, you know, I always ask you, what does our keyword progress mean to Sean Garrett in this current moment?
The progress report.
Yes, sir.
Progress is motion.
Yeah.
So, you know, people love to contradict things, right? And say, they'll say, oh, you did so many great things. That was great, Sean. That was great, Sean. That was great. And then they'll come back with some other question and say, but what keeps you going? And the same thing that got me started is the same shit that's going to keep me going.
That part.
And that is gratitude. Progress is motion. Progress is continuing to believe in yourself and continue to be excited about life. And motion and winning and growing and learning. Learning is the most important thing, because I've learned so much this year that hopefully by the grace of God, I see 2025 and, you know, I can have an opportunity to try again. So it's just, you know, it's just having the ability to try, having the ability to say, damn, can I do this again? Can I have another opportunity? I just want another shot, you know? That's how I look at every approach. And I just love the opportunity that I still get. My phone stay fucking ringing. New artists respect me and they, you know, they admire me and I admire them.
Yeah.
You know, I take a lot of interest in people's, you know, plight on their own journey, right? I get excited about seeing another artist say, man, I really want to do this.
Yeah.
So that's what keeps me excited.
I love that, man. You definitely a student of the game, and I love that, you know, so that's
sure.
amazing, man. Sean, anything else you want your fans to know this particular time? And when can we expect that album?
Album's coming around March.
Okay. First quarter.
First quarter.
I like that.
Yeah. The next single is on the way. Y'all gonna be in for a treat.
Okay.
I got some amazing features on my album. And I just want to make the type of R&B music that keeps people excited. I want to see what he's gonna do next.
Yeah.
I want to see what this next shit gonna sound like. So I don't make the type of R&B music that I feel like everybody else makes. You know, I love women, and I know women love an R&B nigga.
That's facts.
Especially a real one.
That's facts. Okay. Man, this was dope as hell,
and we
man.
make the best love. We got the best. Yeah, I'm saying.
Period.
We know how to lick on you. And
That
keep
part.
going, and keep going. You
That
feel
part. Period, Sean. Well, man, this was amazing. I appreciate your time. This was dope. And thank you again.
We love you, Lalaa.
Hell yeah.
The Progress Report.